Thanks for listening to our podcast, unMetered. As a member-owned, not-for-profit electric cooperative, our focus is on providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member service. One way that we're doing that is by providing more avenues of communication to you, our member. Through the podcast, we hope that you will be able to find some helpful hints, tips, and things to help you conserve energy, as well as some informational pieces that will help you understand what it means to be a member. Thanks again for listening to unMetered, brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric. Extremely excited to have everyone here.
Sorry, I was getting Sunny ready.
Sunny is up and running.
Sunny's going crazy.
Which I think is interesting because it is sunny outside.
It is finally.
It's a little cold,
a little chilly. What happened to spring?
We missed it, obviously.
Apparently,
it's fall again. No, but again, weather right now has been crazy.
It is.
And
it
today we're actually talking a little bit about something that happens when the weather gets crazy, which is storms
and outages
and
all the things
the things that come along. Yeah, exactly. So before we get into that, of course, we want to remind everybody to sign up for Sharing Change.
It's good. It's quick. It's easy. Click of a button, check of a pin, put it in the mail. You're good to go.
And you can actually find out more information by going to sharingchange.org.
That's right.
Or you can give us a call at 877-777-9020. Just ask one of the member support specialists about it, and they will get you signed up.
That's right. Pennies make a difference, truly.
Pennies, quarters, dimes.
Dollars if you want to.
We have Sharing Change Plus. You can also sign up for that as well. So
it's good. It's
easy.
The easiest good thing you'll ever do.
It's like it's a tagline or something.
I've seen it once or twice.
Well, going along with this month's theme, as you've probably noticed in the Tennessee Magazine, which you've noticed because, of course, you write the Tennessee Magazine. And of course, I've been working on social media stuff.
That's right.
Outages is what we've been talking about this month. And just a quick reminder, don't forget to sign up for myMTEMC so that you can report those outages.
That's right. It is the app, not only, back in January, we talked a lot about the app and how it will help people understand their usage. But this is a great time of year to actually have the app, because if you do have an outage, I mean, literally, it's just a couple of button clicks,
yep.
and you can actually report your outage. And so if you haven't downloaded it yet, check it. Oh, man, I'm telling you,
difficult.
It's cold. My tongue's frozen. It's available on iTunes, Google Play. Go out there and get it. It's free,
and it's fantastic in that. One, you could call us at 877-777-9111, and you could report your outage. Or, again, because you're looking for something fast, you're looking for something easy, hey, my light just went out.
Right.
You just pull up your app real quick and you can press it. Or if for some reason your desktop computer is still working,
which is interesting.
Maybe you have backup power or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not going to, you figure the science out on that. But if your desktop's working, you can actually report your outages there. So say, for instance, you're out on vacation,
right.
You get an email notification that says, hey, my power's out. You can actually send a outage notification back to us and says, yes, it is. I agree with you.
It's one thing to make mention of, because you had talked about a desktop computer. Some folks actually, they have iPads,
yep.
or, some sort of tablet. You can get to your myMTEMC through the browser, if you're on an iPad through Chrome, right. or something like that. But we encourage you, download the app onto your iPad because it's still mobile. It makes the whole experience so much better and so much easier. So, you're not, if the power's out, you're not thinking, oh man, I got to get here.
Right.
You just click the button and go. It's just like it would be on your phone, only larger.
Well, yeah, exactly. And one thing that you can't report outages through is our social media channels.
So
we just want to remind people again, our social media channels, our Google page, these are all places that you should not report your outages.
Because it's not tied to our outage system.
Exactly.
And our systems control operators don't monitor that. I mean, there's a couple of really hardworking guys that monitor that stuff.
I don't know where they are, but again, if you want the fastest, the fastest response to those outages, be sure to report those through the proper channels,
right.
which is the myMTEMC, which is the outage line.
Right.
And of course, if it's during the day and our contact center is open, you can actually call us at our main number as well, and they can get that put into the system for you too. So again, there are several ways to do it. The one way to not do it is social media. So
and a couple of years ago, we finished rolling out our advanced metering infrastructure,
right.
and we've actually had the question, why do I still have to report my outage if, we have an advanced meter? Because we still want you to. We want to make sure, just because, your meter may go out, or if the power goes out and your meter stops reading, because there's no power, we still want you to report it. Yes, it's a redundant process, but it makes sure that
Exactly.
that we know that you're out. Because after all, it's a system, and there's things
Yep.
in place to make sure that everything is reporting correctly. But we still want to have that interaction with you. We still want you to. This is your co-op.
Exactly.
Call us. Let us know.
Well, and the other piece also is that even though your power goes out, it may not be something where the meter is not getting power. It could be something on the other side of
That's
the
right.
meter, which is something that we don't control. We don't have access or information to tell us what's going on past that. The advanced meter is pretty much just saying, hey, I'm getting power, about every 15 minutes or so. It's communicating with us,
Right.
That they're getting power from us. Now,
Right.
if you're not getting power because your breaker got shut off or something like that, we don't know that.
And that's a huge thing. Sometimes, like you said, the power's still flowing to the meter, but something trips in your house, and you go out there and you cycle your main breaker, and it'll come right back on.
Exactly.
And that's what our systems control operators, if you have an outage and they're not showing anything out, they're going to walk you through some of those steps,
Exactly.
ask you to go out there and check your main breaker and things like that. So it's good to locate that. We talked about knowing where your GFIs are.
Yep.
Well, know where your main breakers are.
Well, yeah, and one thing with those main breakers, some people have older homes, some people have true breakers, some have fuses. There's
Right.
this, that, and the other. But you can actually find a little bit of information about what to check if you do experience an outage and you did not get, if you're signed up for myMTEMC and you did not get a email notification that says, hey, you're out, you may want to work your way through mtmc.com/outages, because it could be that it's a fuse break. It could be a breaker that is tripped. There's several different things, but as part of the outage restoration process, we focus on getting the most number of people back on as quickly as we can possible.
Right.
And so one thing that, in our Tennessee magazine, again, which is a great resource.
Thank you.
I do enjoy, is one of those things where I was not a member until I started working here. So of course I started looking at the magazine.
Right.
One, because I was now a member, and two, because I worked here, and some of the things that we work on show up in there. And so, but there is a lot of information there. And this month in the center spread, so if you look at the March magazine, in the very center spread, there's a very nice graphic that shows you kind of the steps that we take to make sure that power is restored to the membership as quickly as possible.
That's right. Our goal, and you hit the nail on the head, our goal is to get as many people on as quickly as possible, and then to start to work, smaller outages. So, if we have a substation that goes out for whatever reason, and real quick, actually, before we go into that, causes, of course, there's weather, there's equipment failure, which it happens. I mean, the equipment on the system, I mean, it's equipment. It's like a car. Cars break down. I mean, these things happen. Animals. I mean, we will get birds that'll get into our substations. We have all kinds of protective measures.
Cages. We've got noise machines that try to scare these things off. I mean,
but sometimes they just get in there.
They
They're
are
like, whatever.
stubborn.
And so, if a substation goes down, we know that if we can get that back on, that we're going to get a large majority of folks back on, and then start to work individual outages. And that's our goal. If there's a vehicle accident that breaks a pole, we're going to look to, and we've talked about this in other podcasts and in the magazine, talk about backfeeding areas, which basically reroutes the power so that we can isolate, so that we can get power onto a bunch of people while we work an issue.
And that's something that sometimes is hard to kind of convey, is that, even when we try to backfeed an area, which we have a fantastic system.
We do.
Our operations team, our engineering team, they have worked literally years to get this system up to where we can really respond quickly to outages, but it still takes a little bit of time.
Right.
And so you might see a blink, you might see a flicker, because they're changing a breaker to make sure that you are able to have that robust system in place.
Right.
And you may see a flicker, you may see a little fluctuation there, and that's sometimes a cause of those maintenance types things.
Right.
But in backfeeding those systems, we could backfeed and fill in and get, if there was 2,000 people out for some unknown reason, for some reason, we're trying to get crews out there to find out what's going on. We can backfeed, and maybe we get 900 of them back on.
Right.
But like you said, there's a car accident. Again, that takes a little bit of time to get people out there. So when there is an issue with the system, when there is an outage, patience is a huge thing for making sure that, one, you guys the membership doesn't become upset,
Right.
And their patience is just so thankful for us,
Right.
for them to have that.
Well, and it's important to remember when there's outages, and for a long time I didn't put the correlation together. When there's an outage, I mean, it's literally, it's a human that goes out there to restore the outage. I mean, it's not just in our control center that we just flip a switch. I mean, there are times that we, we'll try and reset before we send somebody out there.
Right.
But a lot of times it's actually a person that goes out there and has to fix this, and so you think about it, if there's a storm or it's the middle of the night, this person, they get the phone call, they got to get their gear, they got to head to the area, be in contact with control. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time. So, patience is the number one thing. One thing that is really important for the membership to know is, when we're talking about outages and getting people back on, is everybody is the same.
Oh yeah.
I mean, with one exception, really, but it doesn't matter if you are just a communications coordinator working at a place, and or if you are the CEO of a major corporation,
or even government officials, anything
any of
like
that stuff, you are a member.
Exactly.
And we are working to get your power back on as quickly as possible. The only caveat to that is when it comes to somebody with life support.
Well, life support is one of those things where if you do have life support devices that you're needing, obviously at home or for your loved ones, be sure to let us know that.
Communicate with us.
And you can do that by going to the website, mtmc.com, and just search for the life support form.
Yep.
And what it'll do is it'll pull up a form where you can fill out. You have your doctor fill it out and say, hey, this person's on life support, machines, those types of things.
Oxygen machines, things like that.
It gets put into our system so that we know that when an outage goes out, that we are aware of what else is going on in the background, because it's not just life support that we take special considerations for, but school systems, hospitals, things of that nature. But when it comes to individual members or companies or anything like that, everyone is on the same playing field.
We work hard.
Everyone is a member.
That's right. We work hard to get everybody back on. But if there are people with critical needs, we have to address that first. Now, one thing to make crystal clear is, if you are a person who has those critical needs like life support, you're on oxygen or something like that, that does, and we have it noted in our system, that does not mean, and we've had this call before, that doesn't mean when your power goes out that we're going to bring you a generator.
Right.
We do not at all. I mean, we don't bring generators out. So, there's certain stipulations going on the life support program, if you will.
Exactly.
That you have to have, a certain amount of time for oxygen and all these things. And our member support specialists, they can help you out with all that stuff. A lot of that stuff, is going to be on the form. Your doctor is going to be able to talk to you about that. But it doesn't mean that we're going to bring you a generator.
Right.
So please don't say, hey, don't call us with the expectation of, my power went out, I need a generator, because we're not coming out there with one of those.
Exactly. And again, the other piece about this is that as we're restoring the power, it obviously starts at the largest number possible,
right?
Which is generally going to be a substation type of a situation, and then we go down from there. So so once we get through the substation and make sure everything is cleared there and we're good to go, then it moves on down into what is called the direct lines,
right?
And those direct lines are the ones that are, you may see them running from a substation into a subdivision, or, they run everywhere, really. We have 12,000 miles of line at this point.
So much
line. There's a lot of juice that's being
overhead, underground, everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. And so once we've checked the substation, and of course that means someone actually goes out there and checks it, if we can't, figure it out here from our control center. But then they check those direct lines,
right?
Because what can end up happening, as we talked about earlier, these storms that are going on, this crazy weather that happens in Tennessee. Last week, I was literally wearing a t-shirt and shorts, and now I'm having to wear almost a parka. And but those direct lines, they can come in contact with trees,
right?
Which thankfully for our right-of-way department, they do a lot of good work. They actually just got a certification from
Treeline USA.
Treeline USA, exactly. They actually got a certification there on the work that they've been doing, and so again, those trees come in contact with those direct lines, which can cause outages to a large number of folks, and we've just got to find out where that situation is.
Yep. Yeah, and and once they get out there, we'll see. Oftentimes, I've talked to the vegetation management guys. Oftentimes, when the wind will blow, a tree limb, people will call and say, "Hey, my power's flickering." Well, it's because the tree limb is just touching those lines.
Exactly.
Happens all the time. But once they continue working down that, then they're going to start to, once they've isolated the area, they're going to actually start to look at the lines that head to the folks' homes.
Right.
So if there's issues there, they're going to make contact. Don't ever think that you can't talk to our crews when they're out there. Stay away, stay safe.
That's a huge thing.
But if there's a tree that's knocked your tap line down, they're going to come and they're going to try and make contact with you to let you know what's going on. Or if they're going to be doing work out in front of your house and your power is on, but they have to take power out because there's a broken pole down the way, they're going to try and make contact with you if they can. If not, you're going to experience the outage. But our crews they're very personable. They're super folks, but they have a job to do.
And a lot of them have the big beards.
They do. They're
really cool beards. Now, I don't know if that'll disappear in summertime, but it's made it very interesting because you go out and photograph these guys on a couple occasions. And, I'll look at them and say, "Hey, what's going on, man? How are you?" And I don't recognize them because they have such a great beard that has come in.
It's very Beard of Zeus-like.
It is fantastic. These guys are super personable. Don't let their look scare you away from it or anything like that. They've just been out working, so they're probably dirty and grungy and wave at them. Exactly.
They're out there just trying to get your power back on, trying to get you restored. But that's kind of it. Biggest thing, if you have an outage, call us, report it.
Just know, like as we said earlier, be patient. If you see a truck go past your house and your subdivision is lights out, there's not a flicker in the place. They aren't bypassing you because they don't care.
Right.
They're bypassing you because they are being told where the problem probably is and how to get the most people on as quickly as possible.
That's right. And that's one of the beauties of our advanced metering infrastructure is they can much more quickly go to an area where an outage where they think that an outage is. It used to be that they would have to just roll up and down the streets. They can get very close now and get the power. Get your power back on very quickly. So be patient. Wave as they drive by. They're working. They're working hard.
They are working hard, and of course, as we said earlier, if you do step out to look around during these tough weather situations, be aware of where you're looking, of where you're walking, because again, if a power line is down, stay away from that area and contact us, because again, those areas you can actually run into being shocked just by coming too close to it, even when it's just on the ground.
If you see a line down, consider it energized, period. Don't drive over it, don't walk over it. We actually had a member this past weekend that let us know that there was a line down. Come to find out, it was a telecommunications line. It wasn't us, but they called us and they didn't want to go over it. Good on them, good on them. Let us know.
Very good to know. And that's one of the things about the myMTEMC that you can do even more so than on the outage line. And you can leave us a comment.
Right.
So for instance, if you saw your transformer sparking and
heard a loud boom,
or anything like that, you can put a comment in there. Hey, I heard a loud boom, and it, my transformer now is sparking. Because that sometimes happens.
It does.
Not gonna lie, it's a little cool, but you want to stay away from those areas. And so again, making that comment or saying, hey, someone ran into a pole and it's broken. That lets us know that we need to come out there with a pole, because we don't just walk around with those in our back pocket necessarily.
And that is you would have a big back pocket,
a large pocket.
That's actually, the more information that you can give us on that, the quicker it's going to, that we can work to get your power restored, because a pole is a perfect example. If we go out there, if someone just says my power is out, and we go out there and there's a car accident, then we have to call somebody, to come out with the pole, and it just takes that much time. But if they say, hey, I just saw a car accident, pole's broken. Okay, well, now we can roll a truck with a pole much quicker.
We can make sure we've got the right equipment for the right issues. But again, we thank everybody for listening this week.
Great time.
Again, the outages are something no one wants. be sure to report those. Even though we do have the advanced metering infrastructure,
let us know.
Let us know. We love to hear from you. And
Yeah.
of course, if you got a question that's not related to outages, you can also give us a call at 877-777-9020. You can talk to one of our very fantastic member support specialists.
They're good folks, man.
They are fun. We're just across the opening,
they
I
are
guess.
busy,
It's not really a hallway, but it's an opening for us, and they are constantly looking forward to hearing from members.
That's right.
So if you got a question, give us a holler. If you've not downloaded myMTEMC, you can do that on
soon.
iTunes, Google Play, and if you've not subscribed to the unMetered podcast,
The award-winning
podcast, we've not said that in a while because, well, honestly, we try not to.
We don't toot our own horn.
We try not to, but it might have to make a comeback here every once in a while.
That's right.
But again, thanks for listening. We hope to see you again.
Say bye, Sonny.
unMetered is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric.